Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I am your Heavenly Father, and we're going to cover a little bit of Trump in the Oval Office, talking about bringing back, apparently, I haven't watched it, bringing back the coronavirus updates because of the tremendous ratings. I've heard about it on the Twitters, but I haven't actually watched it. So, hi, Casey. Hi, Dr. Howard. Hi, Laser, the Kid God. I'm just going to call you Kid God. Welcome, everybody. Let's get going with this. It's going to be a quick one today. I got so much happening today. None of it good. Can I just say, as a Canadian originally, the healthcare system in this country is completely screwed up. Completely screwed up. Kevinly daughter is in pain. I have talked to our insurance provider. They said this is now a referral to a specialist who then referred her to a secondary specialist. So one referral's already taken place, and that secondary specialist, or the first specialist, sent a referral to another specialist that is not covered by our health insurance. So I talked to the health insurance, and they said, here's a list of all the specialists that you can go to. No referral necessary. We will take care of it. And so the insurance company is great. Here's the problem. The secondary specialists are like, no, we need a referral from the first specialist. Okay, yeah, I can do that because they've already made the referral, so I'll just call their office and have them. And we also need a referral from the original doctor. But the original doctor, the primary care physician, already sent a referral to the first specialist. So now everybody, and with the original provider, which, by the way, great doctor, she's fantastic, that referral process takes time. And the second take time. So Kevinly daughter just be in pain. Even though the insurance company said, go on in. Like, it's paid for. It's not tonsillitis. Anyway, moving on. Hi, Green Room. Good to see everybody. So let's get going with this. For those of you just joining us for the first time, this isn't usually a bitch session, but I do have what I think is some very good news for everyone today. Looking for a tree within this forest of coronavirus. According to my favorite site now, covidexitstrategy.org, the positivity rates have leveled out if you take them over the last 2 weeks. Some of them are still very, very bad, but they're not skyrocketing. That being said, cases are. But positivity rates are doing all right. Hi, Danielle. Let's take a look at the COVID exit strategy here. Some important ones you can see. Get this idiot out of the way. There we go. So Florida, the last 2 weeks, positivity rating 18.7 to 18.7. That's good. Excuse me, that it hasn't spiked. Texas, we've gone from 13.8 to 15.1. Not great, but it hasn't skyrocketed. Arizona, which has been terrible, has actually come down from 25.3 to 23.6. Utah, 9.1, 9.3. Okay. Nevada's bad. Nevada is 13 up to 19% positivity in Nevada now. They're headed in the wrong direction. In terms of the overall picture of the country, you can see it's like a stoplight. Red, yellow, green. Green, good. Maroon, very bad. We're still not in great shape. But if there's anything that we can take away today, positivity rates, especially in the most affected states, hasn't taken off like a shot. We were seeing very bad positivity rates for a while. California, although they've got a lot of cases, 7.2 to 7.3%. That's negligible. Good job, California. And it's below 10%. Once you get to 10% positivity, your cases are skyrocketing. You've got no control over it anymore. So although they've got California classified as not controlled, at least the positivity rate is. And they are testing a lot in California, which is good. Okay, hey, Andy, good to see you. We're broadcasting early, so you can join us. Let's get to the president's remarks. Let me get rid of that screen for you. Let's go in. By the way, if you're watching for the first time, hi, welcome. I am Kevinly Father. You're Kevinly Father. Kevin Wick. Forgot my own name. It's Monday. We will get to the Trump interview with Chris Wallace later. Maybe today, I hope. I've got a lot of stuff to take care of. I've got to drive to Kevinly Granddad's house, which is an hour away, and I have to fix his computer. So hopefully we get to that at some point. It might be too late for those of you in Europe, but it will get done. And like I said, maybe not today. It's been a day, guys. Oh, plus, this is welcome to Kevinly Bitch Session. As many of you know, my total unemployment compensation from March till now has been $108 because they verified my identity and said, oh, it'll be released overnight by the computer. So all those literally thousands of dollars in unemployment that I'm supposed to get, it'll be deposited. It only did the very first week. Take away the deductions, etc., and the fact that it was only a portion of the week, I have $108 for unemployment so far. So for the last 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, you haven't been able to call in to Washington Unemployment. Don't call us, we'll call you. I didn't receive any phone calls because as far as they're concerned, everything's fixed. My identity has been verified. The trouble is that everything else is pending. I think I can even show that to you guys. Let me see if I can bring that up quickly. No, too much information to put over the web. So I will be on hold. If I can get through, I will be on hold for a long time today. So that's something to look forward to. Oh, boy. Kevinly daughter is, she's well. She just has a terrible sore throat with things going on in there. And she's, the primary care doctor was like, don't even bother coming in. We're just going to send you to a specialist. The specialist looked at it, didn't poke around in there. I wish they had because they would have. Anyway, I'm not going to get into graphic detail. And sent her to a secondary specialist. And then the whole insurance thing kicked in. But our insurance, which is Obamacare, is fantastic. I have no complaints whatsoever about this insurance. It's the system. The system is broken, and we don't need universal health insurance. We don't need... Kevinly daughter is just coming. She's now kneeling beside me with her forehead on my thigh. Wait, hold on. Can you be helped? No, she's just feeling bad. So she just came to see Dad. Okay. Hi, Jana. Good to see you. Anyway, moving on. Let's get to Trump because I don't have a lot of time. I've got to get up to Kevinly Granddad to fix his computer at some point here. So real life gets in the way. And yes, I will be wearing a mask. And yes, I'll have his laptop outside. And yes, there will be distancing. And I'll be wearing gloves and all that good stuff. So, moving on.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You've asked to see what's going on at our meetings. I figured let you come in, you'll look, and you'll see.
Volume's not great on this, but turn yourself up. If I'm way too loud for this, let me know.
See, we have a lot of good things happening. We have tremendous progress on vaccines and therapeutics. We're getting reports. We're studying the reports very closely. I think people are going to be very pleasantly surprised with what's going on the vaccine front and the therapeutic front. And that to us is always the first topic. Secondarily, but very importantly, we're working and negotiating with the Democrats on trying to get a plan that...
The first topic should be, how are we stopping this uncontrolled spread? That should be the first topic every time. But no, it's about, we've done tremendous things on these vaccines. We don't know. But yes, there's good news on the vaccine front in a couple of different areas. But it should not always be the first topic.
Helps small businesses, helps people, helps this country. And I think we've made a lot of progress on that, and the discussions are going on. Steve, do you want to say a few words as to where we are?
Yes, Mr. President.
I apologize. I hope you guys can hear that. I mean, what am I apologizing? I'm apologizing because I'm Canadian. It's not my fault that C-SPAN has the volume so low. Hopefully they mess with it at some point. So then I watched the beginning of this. Steve talks. Mnuchin says, Pence praises him for his leadership, which is a surprise. We never see that. Mnuchin said, hey, we're going to try and get some more money out there, but not for the people. So everybody getting that $600 with your unemployment on top of my 108. Not getting it. Kevinly daughter has not been given her full unemployment yet either. And I'll talk about unemployment another time. Let's get on with this.
Serious, but because of this.
Then the worst Kevin speaks. Mitch McConnell says nothing.
They didn't stop it from going from China. It should have never been allowed to get out. They could have stopped it. They could have stopped it easily. They chose
blame China,
not to.
Blame China. Hey, Linda.
And we'll have further reports on that. But it came from China. They could have stopped it. They didn't. They stopped it from going into China, but they didn't stop it from going to the rest.
So if China could have stopped it, Could Trump do anything to stop it if it's a stoppable phenomenon? Is that?
To the world, it didn't stop it from going to Europe, to us. They should have stopped it. They could have stopped it. They weren't transparent at all. They were the opposite.
China wasn't transparent? Are we sure about that? Because it seems to me somebody was saying they were transparent. China has been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts, and I can't I can't read that word. Anyway, he tweeted something about China before. It's obviously undecipherable.
It's not good. I spoke with the president of France this morning, and I spoke with the president of Egypt, and we had a very, very good conversation, both of us, and
good friends.
all of us together. I've had many conversations with leaders all over the world over the weekend and over the last couple of weeks in particular. And this is a pandemic that is flaring up all over the place. Countries thought they were in good shape, and then all of a sudden they have a big flare-up. I see that over the weekend, I guess on Friday, there was a record worldwide number of deaths, worldwide.
There's been record numbers worldwide all over the place, but we're the United States, so let's try and concentrate on that, please.
Because when you watch the news, the local news, and you see it, and it's like all about the United States. They never like to talk about what's going on in the world.
He's upset that the local news is covering the local news.
But you look at Mexico, Brazil, many countries in Europe, all over. Russia's got a tremendous problem. It's what's going on is terrible. It's terrible. But this is a worldwide problem. And we're helping the world with ventilators. We're helping a lot of countries. They don't have ventilators, and we're sending thousands of ventilators to different countries. But I do want people to understand this is a worldwide problem caused by China, but it's a worldwide problem. Countries are going through hell. And it's we're going to give you a lot of briefings in the next week and over the next few weeks as to, I think it's very important to do it, the vaccines and the therapeutics. I think I'm going to bring some of the great companies that are working and very successfully in the past have worked on these things, and they're going to tell you very specifically what they're doing and how they're doing. But we think we're doing very well in that regard. Those two items, I think, frankly, therapeutic, I like almost better at this point. You go in and
he might already be
better.
dead.
Now, we have had some very good luck with remdesivir. That's been successful, and others have been successful. The plasma has been successful, but we're really coming up with some very good answers. Meaning they are all over the world. They're working, and we're working very closely all over the world on the vaccines and the therapeutics. So we're going to have some of the heads of these great companies coming in. Johnson & Johnson is doing very well in particular. They seem to be doing very well, but numerous are doing very well. It's something that I really feel certain, I guess you can never use totally certain, but pretty damn certain that they're going to have the vaccine, they're going to have therapeutics, and it's going to start taking place very shortly. And that will be a great thing. For the world, that will be a great thing.
So not totally certain, but pretty damn certain. So there you go, everybody. Rest easy.
But this is happening all over the world.
Yeah, we know.
Not just the United States.
It's a pandemic. That's how that works.
It's a tough one. It's very tough. It's very sad when you see the death. It's all death that could have been stopped by China. If they wanted to stop it, they could have stopped it. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Please, thank you.
There's like 7 minutes more, so let's stick around for a second.
Mr. President,
Let's go. Thank you.
how
Press,
important is a
thank
payroll
you.
tax cut?
Press, thank you.
How important is a payroll tax cut in phase 4?
I think it's very important. I think it's a very important thing. It's very good.
So he gets a question about the payroll tax cut. He likes the payroll tax cut. Doesn't help those of us who aren't getting a paycheck, but
It's been proven to be successful. It's a big saving for the people. It's a tremendous saving, and I think it's an incentive for companies
I can zoom in on the photos, Green Room, but it's just going to be blurry.
to hire the workers back and to keep.
If you do a Google search for Oval Office Trump, you'll find those photos back there. But the images you get off of Google, the still images are going to be much better than C-SPAN's feed, which is like 360 at best.
Their workers. So payroll tax cut to me is very important. We're working on it. And I don't think there's too much dispute as to the level of importance, John. It's a very important thing, okay? It's one of the that's one of many elements we're discussing. We're discussing
Quick note, as always, he's crossing his arms, but he's the only human being on the planet who doesn't understand how to do it. He's just hugging himself. Crossing your arms has a basic ergonomic efficiency to it. The arms lock into place, and all effort is ceased on your part. They just take care of themselves. The way he does it, he wraps the one hand around underneath here, which then gravity takes over, completely destroying the point of crossing your arms. It's not an arm cross, it's a hug.
probably a total of 10 different elements, but payroll tax cut's a very important one. All right?
Are they signing on?
Oh, absolutely. No, I think
Wow.
hopefully
He never
we'll get
laughs.
there, but we're talking about a lot of things, not just the payroll tax cut.
So they're bringing back the coronavirus briefings, is that, do I understand you correctly?
Well, we had very successful briefings. I was doing them, and we had a lot of people watching, record numbers watching. In the history of cable television, there's never been anything like it. And we were doing very well, and I thought it would be sort of automatic, and a lot of positive things were happening. And frankly, a lot of the country is doing well. A lot of people don't say, as you understand, but we have had this big flare-up.
So he thought it would be automatic that the virus would go away? Yeah, he said that before. But yeah, let's take a look at a lot of the country doing well. There it is. Look at all that green. It's all doing so well. But the briefings had record ratings. That's the important part.
In Florida, Texas, a couple of other places.
Couple of other places. Again, let's take a look at those couple of other places. So a couple is 2. Maybe that might be 3 or 4. I'm not good with math, but you can see the map for yourself.
And so I think what we're going to do is I'll get involved and we'll start doing briefings, whether it's this afternoon or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, and I'll do briefings. And part of the briefing, I think, much more so than last time, because last time we were nowhere with vaccines or therapeutics. And let's say that ended 6 weeks ago.
I mean, do I really have to pull that up? The last few briefings, that's all he talked about, was how great Remdesivir is. Do I have Remdesivir? It's worth watching if I've got it. Hold on. It's not there. It's not there. It's, do I have Remdesivir? Come on, Kevin. It's somewhere here. I have it. I'll bring it up another time. But yeah, now he's claiming that he wasn't talking about them. But no, that's all he's talked about.
We'll start.
Okay, fact check on me. No, that's not true. It's not all he's talked about, but he did talk about it substantially.
Them again.
Tremendously.
And I think it's a great way to get information out to the public as to where we are with the vaccines, with the therapeutics, and generally speaking, where we are.
And the ratings.
And so I think we'll start that probably starting tomorrow. I'll do it at 5 o'clock like we were doing. We had a good slot. And a lot of people were watching, and that's a good thing. I think that Kaylee will continue hers at 11.
We had a good time. So, I'm in the industry, so that's hilarious to me. Hopefully it is to you too, because every time a show gets canceled or isn't doing well, it's like, that's the first thing everybody, it's the time slot. Oh, it's the time slot. If they weren't keeping ratings, we'd be doing so much better. No, the time slot. We had a good slot. 150,000 dead Americans, and we had a good slot.
11 o'clock, just like they were. And I'll be discussing as I call it, the China virus, the China plague.
Speaking of the industry, this little speechy thing he's doing this is right out of Veep. I can totally see Julia Louis-Dreyfus just like having a conversation with what's his name? Now I can't even remember the names. Pick any of them, Mike McClintock, and talking about how it's a good slot. We're melting down. Oh yeah, the nuclear meltdown happened in Sinafra Beach, and we've got 600,000 Americans dead, but we got a good time slot though. That's important, just like his little
discussing it. And I'll also be discussing perhaps some other things. But You know, we're doing very well in so many different ways, but unfortunately, this is something that's very tough, but we're going to get it solved. And I think we're going to get it solved in numerous ways, but the two best would be
How about stopping it?
vaccines and therapeutics. So we'll be having that.
President, on Portland,
Or containment and testing, like we know works. I don't know which is scarier, the virus or the fact that we know definitively how to put a stop to this, and we refuse.
and other cities that are experiencing violence. There was a report out this morning that you're considering sending 175 federal troops to these cities to help local law enforcement. Can you fill us in on that?
Depends on what your definition of troops is. I mean, we're sending law enforcement. Portland was totally out of control. The Democrats, the liberal Democrats running the place, had no idea what they were doing. They were ripping down for 51 days, ripping down that city, destroying the city, looting it. The level of corruption and what was going on there is incredible. And then the governor comes, oh, we don't need any help. How about Chicago? I read the numbers were many people killed over the weekend. We're looking
Those are some numbers. Many people. Many numbers. To get into specifics, a lot of people.
at Chicago too. We're looking at New York. Look at what's going on. All run by Democrats, all run by very liberal Democrats, all run really by radical left. But we can't let this happen to the cities. New York was up 348%, the crime wave. So the governor has to do something about it. And if the governor's not going to do something about it, we'll do something about it. But what's happening in New York, a place I love New York, and look at what's going on over there. The woman who was shot because she said, could you please not light off firecrackers, and they turned around and shot her 8 times and she died? That's not our civilization. That's not about us. And then the police are afraid to do anything. I know New York very well. I know the police very well, New York's finest. And the fact is, they're restricted from doing anything. They can't do anything.
So what are you planning on doing?
Well, I'm going to do something, that I can tell you, because we're not going to let New York and Chicago and Philadelphia
Always
and
with
Detroit
the specifics.
and Baltimore and all of these, Oakland is a mess. We're not going to let this happen in our country. All run by liberal Democrats.
So more federal law enforcement to some of these cities?
More federal law enforcement, that I can tell you. In Portland, they've done a fantastic job. They've been there 3 days, and they really have done a fantastic job in a very short period of time. No problem. They grab them, a lot of people in jail. They're leaders. These are anarchists.
No problem. They grab them. A lot of their leaders these are anarchists. Yeah. People riding around in rented minivans wearing camouflage and not identifying themselves and grabbing people not on federal land or near federal buildings. Those are anarchists. He's absolutely right.
These are not protesters. People say protesters.
They're not protesters.
These people are anarchists.
They are anarchists.
These are people that hate our country, and we're not going to let it go
No,
forward.
they're just power
And I'll
hungry
tell you
and they're
what,
doing
the
your
governor
bidding.
and the mayor
States'
and the
rights.
senators out there, they're afraid of these
States'
people.
fucking rights, Donnie.
That's the reason they don't want us to help them. They're afraid. I really believe they're actually maybe even physically afraid of these people, because what they're doing is incredible. We didn't just go there. This wasn't like it started right away. We went there after 51 days. We said, we can't let that happen anymore. But these are anarchists. And the politicians out there, yes, they're weak, but they're afraid of these people. They're actually afraid of these people. And that's why they say, we don't want the federal government helping. How about Chicago? Would you say they need help after this weekend? Do you know the numbers? Did you hear the numbers?
Because I don't.
Many shot, many killed.
Those are the numbers again. Many.
I'm not talking about 1, 2,
How many are you talking about?
18 people killed. I think more than that. And you added up over the summer. This is worse than Afghanistan, by far. This is worse than anything anyone's ever seen. All run by the same liberal
Worse than
Democrats.
anyone has
and
ever
you know what?
seen.
If Biden got in, that would be true for the country. The whole country would go to hell. And we're not going to let it go to hell. Thank you very much, everybody.
So the country hasn't gone to hell under his leadership. Everything is a nightmare. It's a hellscape out there, but it hasn't gone to hell.
Thank you, Meredith. Thank you, Mr.
that
President.
might be
Thank
it.
you. Let's go.
Some of the
Let's
senators
please,
say they're not. Steve, come on.
Press, thank
Guys,
you.
let's go.
Joe.
John, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks.
All right, that's it. So more coverage coming up, maybe later today, probably tomorrow. I have a ton to do today, including being on hold for a long time with unemployment. So I hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to let you go. You be good to each other. Patricia, I saw you. Goldie, good to see you in here. Hi, Robin. I saw Chris in here as well. Everybody else watching out there, if you want to support this kind of thing, great. Come back another time. Share it with your friends. That's a good way. David, good to see you in here. You know who else likes soup? Never mind. It's a joke that went nowhere. I can't speak today. It is Monday, but I'm pressing on. I can't even think of words. So it's been good, guys. Be good to each other. Wear a mask, even in the shower. And hopefully, for those of you, really quickly, what I wanted to show you, those of you who came in late, good news on the positivity front. Several of the states that have been terrible have actually sort of leveled out in terms of positivity. Not good. For example, Florida, 18.7 to 18.7. Texas this is over a 2-week period, 13 to 15, or almost 14 to 15, not terrible. Arizona's down 25.3 to 23.6, and then the other big one, California, 7.2 to 7.3. California's been good with the positivity, not good. Hasn't been atrocious with the positivity. Nevada's going in the wrong direction. Utah is sort of holding steady, 9.1 to 9.3. If you want to see this map for yourself and take a look, then go to covidexitstrategy.org. Thank you to David with Snopes for being our guest the other day, and also for showing me a newspaper article that had this site in there. So covidexitstrategy.org. Let me check one more thing. Okay, as of today, the CDC stats, the hospitalization stats that COVID Exit Strategy and other sites use in order to track the spread of the virus is still not available. So the whole we're giving you more information. According to COVID Exit Strategy, the CDC, the information is gone, and there is no information coming out of HHS. So we are still in the dark on that because hospitalizations make Trump feel sad. So we won't have any more of that. Good news with testing from the UK. Good to see that. Happy Monday to you, Kim. Happy Monday. Like days have any meaning anymore. Okay, speaking of things that make me happy, here's all of you guys.
Kevin, is this helpful to Joe Biden?
Wait, what?